The most important lesson I learned was from my teacher, my first clarinet teacher from Puerto Rico. His name is Leslie Lopez. And I remember that he used to tell me, Ricky, you have to always be a good boy. You have to grow up to be a noble person, because if you don't, how would you ever expect to play with nobility? So it's a lesson that I've tried to work on my whole life. We are all human. We have our own idiosyncrasies, and we all make our mistakes, but always striving to be a better person, a better human being has always been a goal of mine, because the gist of that lesson is that you really cannot fake it. You know, you cannot play, you might be able to play the instrument well, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will be able to communicate the essence and the purity of music if you have a heart that is not entirely open to the beauties of the world. I would say absolutely. I come from a family of musicians. All of them are professional musicians, and they are all very, very accomplished. And they have always been a great influence on me on striving to do my best. And I had great lessons from my family, especially my father teaching us. The most important lesson was to never be jealous or comparing with your siblings, because those are the people that will always be there for you from the beginning to the end of your life. And you know, I try to transfer that feeling for the rest of my studies, etc., because I know that the musical world is extremely competitive, and it's difficult when you are good. When you get to be great, it's very hard. So it is something that you always have to try to transcend the little shortcomings that we have as human beings, the jealousies, the little gossipy things, because they actually do damage the way that you are able to express the music with purity and love, and which actually that's one of the things that blended in with the lesson that I learned from my first teacher of trying to be a good human being and try to preserve as close as possible, as much as we can, a noble soul. To me, one of the most important things, and the most important thing that I actually learned, was when I went to Eastern Music Festival. I was a 14-year-old boy, and I was always hoping to become a musician, but it was always a question of is it really possible, or is that something that is an impossibility to do? And the thing that, the great experience that I had there was that we used to have lessons in a courtyard where the faculty used to live and teach there. And well, after we were done with our lessons and chamber music coachings, we could go over there in the evening, and they would have barbecues and things like that. And I was able to meet my teachers as human beings, not just as people who are on a stage, and just to see them, you know, my great teacher at Eastern Music Festival, Eddie Palanker from the Baltimore Symphony, just chasing after his 2-year-old, and it was just like so human that it actually gave me a great deal of hope to be able to try to achieve this. And that's one thing that I will always take to my heart, that the reality is that while we see an orchestra with 100 people, all these very nicely done tuxedos, etc., they're actual human beings that are trying to come together to come with a voice to emote one great idea.